Hello, Math 7 students. We are beginning Module 2, Lesson 11, which is called the Division of Integers. And we find that on page 68 in my comp book. So I'm going to turn there real quick. Here we go. The division of integers. Yesterday we figured out what the rules were for multiplying integers. Today we are going to talk about dividing integers, so division of integers. The goal for today we are going to practice the division rules for integers. The question that I want you to be thinking about is, how are the rules for multiplying integers and dividing integers related? Okay, so that should give you a hint. There is something that they have in common. So division and multiplication rules for integers, let's take a look at them. It's kind of funny, and you're kind of going to be like, oh my gosh, Mrs. Nelson. But look, so if we're doing division, we have a negative divided by a negative gives us a positive. We have a positive divided by a positive gives us a positive. A negative divided by a positive gives me a negative. A positive divided by a negative gives me a negative. Come over here to multiplication, and we have a negative times a negative gives me a positive. Ooh. A positive times a positive gives me a positive. A negative times a positive gives me a negative. And a positive times a negative gives me a negative. What do you notice? If you said that the rules are exactly the same, your answer is correct. Okay? The rules of division are exactly the same as the rules of multiplication. So if you can remember everything that we've been doing with multiplication, division is going to be easy because you just have to remember you're dividing instead of multiplying. So we do have this other tool that I've been waiting to share with you because it's really helpful. But I have to tell you something. You can only use this tool for multiplying and dividing. You cannot, listen to me please, you cannot use it with adding and subtracting. The only time this tool works is if you're multiplying or dividing. It's a very special tool, and you can only use it when you're multiplying and dividing. It's called the integer triangle, okay? And it's called the integer triangle rules because it can only be used for multiplication and division. Use the triangle only with multiplication and division, and here's what it looks like. So I'm just going to cover it and show it to you because you guys are going to love it. So what you have to do is you have to draw a triangle, okay? And the other thing that you have to be very careful about is you have to put the signs exactly where they are every time. So the positive has to go in the top, and the two negatives have to go along the bottom. Okay, now here, this is how it works. So if you have a problem, let's say that we're going to this one. If you have a problem that you have a positive number and a negative number, if you have a problem that looks like this, here I'll write one. So if we have a positive number, let's say 3 times 5. Nope, sorry, that's not good. That again. Let me try this one. Let's do 3 times a negative 8. Okay, so we have a positive and we have a negative. Does everybody see that? So you're going to go to this triangle and you're going to cover up a positive and you're going to cover up a negative, and whatever's left uncovered is your answer. So your answer is going to be negative. So you get a negative. Do you see how I did that? So it's a positive 3. Look at it. Positive 3, negative 8. What's my answer going to be? Negative. And then you just multiply them. 3 times a negative 8 equals a negative, because we got a negative 24. And that's a math fact, and you should know how to do that. Let's try it for division. What if we have, let's do 48 divided by a negative 4. Okay, so 48 is positive, cover it up. 4 is negative, cover it up. What's our answer going to be? It's going to be negative. And then what is 48 divided by 4? And you get 12. So the answer is negative 12. Okay, so this triangle is really cool. Okay, let's try another one. What if we have negative 56 divided by negative 7? Okay, so that's going to do this one. Cover up a negative. Oh, no. Cover up both minus signs. So a negative 56 divided by a negative 7 gives us what kind of answer? A positive. What's 56 divided by 7? A positive 8. Okay, do you see how the triangle works? It's pretty cool. Okay, what if you have a negative 3 times a positive 12. Okay, so I have a negative, let's do this one, a negative times a positive. What's my answer going to be? Negative. And what is 3 times 12? 36, so you get negative 36 is your answer. So do you see how this triangle works? But it only works with multiplication and division. It can't work with any others. All right? And so that's our whole lesson. It wasn't hard at all. What you have to remember is the rules for division are exactly the same as they are for multiplication. And this triangle helps prove that. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. A positive divided by a positive is always a positive because that's all you have. A negative divided by a positive gave me a negative. And a positive divided by a negative gave me a negative. And so you can see that the triangle is very helpful and that the rules for both multiplication and division are exactly the same. So our goal for today we were going to practice the division rules of integers. You now know them. You have them written in your comp book so that you can look in your comp book whenever you need help. How are the rules for multiplying integers and dividing integers related? Well, the answer to that is they're exactly the same. Okay, you will have some practice problems written on the board in the morning that I will have you try. And don't forget, you can use your helpful triangle to help you figure that out. That's all I have for you today. I'll see you later.